Narrowly surviving the hell that was unleashed, the Secundian Incursion force pushes on into the darkness of a crumbling hive. Distant chitters can be heard, and shadows move against faint lights illuminated from their weapons. The gang comes to a halt as the chittering grows louder. It's in all directions, echoing against the bare walls and columns. One of the Vansar mutters, "We are surrounded." Welcome back to the Underhells campaign for Necromunda. I'm Jimmy, and today we've got our second scenario, Brood Ambush. The Secundian Incursion force has secured an old Agri dome, which allows them to recover their Carotid Prime, which previously received a spinal injury. In this game, the Incursion force is still on level 1 and will be fighting around an abandoned tech hunter camp. This will give the Mouse Drain an additional MP to build their force. The Secundian Incursion force calls themselves the Death Dealers, and they are led by a Spire Hunter, Auric. He now has thickened armor. The rest of the party remains the same, as Strax was able to add a hotshot pack due to a gun tech fabrication. Crews in this battle will be D3 plus 3, and the Mouse Drain will have 13 Mouse Drain points to build their forces with. Riker, a tech hunter gun tech, has disappeared into the darkness to search for a way out and will not participate today. The force is deployed at the center of the board as brood scum deploy within 1 inch of a short battlefield edge. The Incursion force may not flee the battlefield. Instead, if they get within 1 inch of a short battlefield edge at the start of the end phase, they can successfully escape the ambush. Mouse Drain forces will receive 2 reinforcements at the end of each end phase. The battle will end after 6 rounds, or if the Incursion force has been eliminated, they will claim victory if they can get 2 of their fighters off the board. It's a fight to survive as we gear up for Episode 2. Thank you so much for watching. Let's go to tableside to see what unfolds. Alright, there are 5 brood scum that will start on the board, and trying to cover the short edges, they will get 2 reinforcements in each end phase plus any brood scum that went out of action in that turn. There is 1 gene stealer that is going to be lurking in reinforcements, as well as 2 termites that are attached to brood scum. Mouse Drain forces were able to place 5 doors on the battlefield as they do win the initiative for turn 1. They send one of their brood scum forward with 2 moves to one of those doors. Strax is the first fighter to activate for the Secundian Incursion force as he opens the door and targets a brood scum with his las gun. A shot cracks into the darkness but misses. The brood scum activates next and returns fire with his las gun, landing a hit as he is able to see the photolumens in the darkness. The hit does a wound, the armor save is failed, and it's a flesh wound. And that was Alistair that hits the deck. They are very lucky on that exchange. As Alistair activates, he stands and then moves out of line of sight. Mouse Drain forces send another brood scum with a shotgun up behind the door to protect it. On the other side of the board, one of the tech hunters is going to use an action to open the door as he uses his second action to move in. The Mouse Drain then activate a brood scum as he uses 2 actions to move, protecting one of the doorways with his chainsword. A wounded Alistair is on the other side. As we go to the tech hunters, one of them will activate, moving in through the doorway, and a shot will crack from his las gun but misses. An ammo check is required and will be passed as another brood scum is going to move forward, tucking into cover. The deadly Spire Hunter is now going to move, using both actions on his first activation to move to the door. Alongside him, part of a group activation is the Carotid Prime. Remaining actions belong to the Incursion force as the Spire Hunter activates again, opening the door, and now targets one of the brood scum with his bolt launchers. He easily hits at short range, rapid fire, needing 3s to wound. There'll be 3 wounds. AP1 will cut through the armor and he goes out of action. The Tech Hunter proxy activates last as he follows alongside the Spire Hunter. And turn 1 comes to a close as the Secundian Incursion force is moving in 2 groups, one of them narrowly avoiding disaster on a last gun shot from one of the brood scum. Visibility is 6 inches, but the photolumens coming from the Vansar weaponry is not allowing them to be hidden. We roll for reinforcements. 2 brood scum will be coming on along with a gene stealer, all placed by the mouse train. Initiative will stay with the mouse train as we are going to see a charge from the gene stealer that just entered the board, and he is just going to check up short as he is targeting the Spire Hunter. Rix is the first to activate for the Incursion force as he targets the brood scum with his last gun. He is going to land a hit. An ammo check is going to be good. He is going to wound on 4s at strength 3. There is no wound, but the target is pinned. After taking the shot, Rix is going to move, looking to get into cover. On the other side of the board, another charge is announced from a brood scum. This one is successful as he gets into combat with one of the Tech Hunters. Due to it being a blind charge, he misses with his axe and sidearm, needing 5s. Silas fights unarmed, lands a hit on a 4, does a wound on a 4. The armor save will be failed, and the brood scum is taken out of action. The Spire Hunter activates next, charging into the Gene Stealer with his Aurus Power Fists. He has a weapon skill of 3, and 2 of these shots will have power, only 1 miss. He is going to wound on 3s as well. The Gene Stealer does have an attempt to dodge, and none of those are going to be successful. Armor saves are taken against 2 of the non-power shots, both fail, and the Gene Stealer is going to be cut down. Seeing this, a brood scum charges into the Spire Hunter with his mace and sidearm, and he lands 2 hits, 1 with each. He will get 1 wound. The armor save is made, however, as reaction attacks come back across, easily hitting 1 with power. We'll see wounds on 3s. This will cut through his armor, doing 6 damage, and he's going out of action as well. The kill count increases to another threshold, and +1 armor will be added to the Spire Hunter. As the Spire Hunter moves forward with his second activation, he targets the nearby brood scum, hitting twice with his bolt launchers. This will cause 2 wounds, and he sends the brood scum crashing down with a serious injury and a flesh wound. The Carotid Prime activates next, following along behind its master. A nearby brood scum takes a shot with his last gun, lands a hit but fails to wound. As his Tyrmite moves in with a deadly toxin stinger, he misses on both attacks. The Spire Hunter makes reaction attacks, hitting on 3s. A dodge attempt is unsuccessful. The Spire Hunter will wound on 2s, and he takes the Tyrmite out of action. On the other side of the board, a brood scum announces a charge into one of the Tech Hunters, which is successful. It is a blind charge, so he will hit on 5s. He lands a hit with his chainsword on a 6, but it just scrapes by the armor as he fails to do a wound. Reaction attacks are made unarmed, there is a hit, and no wound. Back to the other side of the board, Proxy activates. He uses both of his actions to move as he follows behind the Spire Hunter. Flipping back to the brood scum, a shot from a last gun is going to miss with an aim as the first action. We do see one of the doors open, and this is Alistair that is going to use his second action to move through. Strax activates next, using both actions to move alongside Alistair. On the opposite end, Silas is going to activate, using both actions to move and getting into cover. As turn 2 comes to a close, Mouse Train Force is really unfortunate on the Gene Stealer missing a charge. They can be quite deadly when they get into combat, especially if they attack first. The Spire Hunter was able to counter and deal with the Gene Stealer, and they have effectively cut off the Gene Stealers from being able to bring in reinforcements on that table edge. Lots of mouse drain now pouring onto the boards, but you can't deploy within 6 inches of enemy fighters. The mouse drain attempt to recover the one fighter that was down, that is no good, as priority does stay with the mouse drain. We have a fight with one of the Brood Scum. He lands a hit with his sidearm but fails to wound. Reaction attacks will fail to hit as the Spire Hunter charges into combat with one of the Brood Scum. He hits on 3s, one of them cracking with power. He is going to wound on 3s, and he takes the Brood Scum out of action. Up next, a Brood Scum is going to move to the top where Alistair is, attempt to fire down with an auto pistol, but he misses, only getting +1 to short range. Strax has seen enough, and he is going to move twice as he attempts to get out of line of sight. Up next, a Tyrmite is going to successfully launch a charge into Alistair as he floats down, launching 2 attacks with his Stinger, hitting once. We roll for Radphage, which is good, and a roll for Toxin, which is no good. Alistair ticks up to 2 flesh wounds. He makes reaction attacks back, hitting the Tyrmite but failing to wound. Combat continues with the Tech Hunter fighting unarmed. He hits, the blow is parried, he hits again. He is then going to wound on a 4+. He rolls up for a serious injury after the armor save is failed, and the Brood Scum goes crashing to the ground and gets the coup de grace. The Tech Hunter will use his second action to move, attempting to get into cover and out of line of sight. Brood Scum then activate, moving twice, attempting to chase down the Tech Hunters. As Silas activates, he is going to get to a short board edge and look to escape in the end phase. One of the Brood Scum is going to move within range of Alistair with his stub gun. He's going to get +2 to hit here. He lands a hit. He wounds on 2s as Alistair is just at toughness 1, and the armor save will be failed. The lasting injury roll is going to be a 34 as he goes into convalescence. Up next, Proxy is going to use both of his actions to move as he gets to the board edge. We do have a shot from a last gun that is going to hit one of the Tech Hunters and will wound. A failed armor save will result in a flesh wound. Brood Scum are going to continue to activate as some of their fighters were placed by the Secundian force. They'll have to work their way into battle, but this one is in the books as the Tech Hunters are going to get 2 of their fighters off the board and claim a victory. And with more Brood Scum on the way, the lights are cut and everything goes pitch black as Strax flips off the photolumens on his weapon. He is able to find an unconscious Alistair and pull him away as the Secundian Incursion force lives to fight another day. And as we roll into the post-game, not a lot to report here. As you may have noticed, we didn't include any data crystals on the board. That was a mistake on our part. We are going to give them 2 because they would have been really simple to harvest in this scenario. For upgrades, the Spire Hunter did gain Thicken Armor. That has now maxed out at +2, and there were no lasting injuries to report. Alistair did go into convalescence, but we do head into a period of downtime, so he will recover and be ready for the next battle. None of the Tech Hunters were able to fabricate any weaponry as they could not pass any intelligence checks. We're going to have another game coming up very soon. I hope you stay tuned to see what is in store. As always, thank you so much for watching our video. Supporters Club, your names are on the screen now. That's by no means necessary. I ask for absolutely nothing. If you've watched the video this far, you've done more than enough to support the channel, and that's all I can ask for. We will see you in the next one. Take care.